Yeah, Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altado with Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Back at you with another one with my boys Vlad and Barry. What's good, my guys?
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's up, fellas? You know how we're here on the episode 45. Always excited to, do another episode with you guys. So yeah, we're on to the 4-5, one closer to 50. 5 more to go.
Episode 45. That'll be Michael Jordan.
Yes. Pedro Martinez.
Oh, Martinez.
So I actually made a list of notable people who have 45.
Who else got 45?
So Donovan Mitchell.
That's a good 45. That's a good 45.
Yeah. We got Devin White from the Tampa Bay Bucks. The linebacker.
He's been prevalent for the last couple weeks.
Right. Since he came back from that injury, because he was injured the first game against the Washington. Then we have some, former guys like, Bob Gibson, who's a former pitcher in the MLB. We have AC Green, who, used to play in the NBA. He was kind of like a journeyman, played for several teams. And then we got another Boston guy, Romeo Langford from the Celtics.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. He's been a disappointment, to say the least. That's because of injuries. That's why he hasn't really played that much. But I know he's been with the Red Claws mainly. But hopefully, if he
he's been with nobody because he's had a wrist injury. So
right.
He's been on the bench.
True. Right in the bench. Yeah, and then a couple more notable ones is Duane Blair. You guys remember him, Duane Blair?
Who did he play for?
So he played for the Spurs and he played for the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, the white guy?
Yes. No, black guy.
He's a black dude. I remember.
Yeah, he was like an undersized big man, like legit 6'7". And what was crazy and interesting thing with him is that he actually played with no ACLs. Like, because legit he had he tore his ACL on both knees and, somehow he was still
He's a warrior,
able to play. Yeah, he is. And then last but not least, Rudy Tomjanovich.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
He used to coach the Rockets and the Lakers. He actually has his number retired by the Rockets. He also, played for the Rockets as well. Pretty much his 11-year career, he spent with the Rockets as a player before he became a coach with them and the Lakers. So, and then, so that's pretty much all the notable 45s that I have on my list.
I appreciate that, man. So we're going to move to episode 45. And as always, please follow us. We're on everything. We're on all social media. We're on Instagram. ProFans_sports. We're on Facebook.com/ProFansports, Twitter.com/ProFansports. If you like to watch these videos, which I'm sure you do, that's why you're watching this. ProFans Sports. That's YouTube.com/ProFansports. And we'd like to invite you to join, which is push the subscribe button, press the notifications. All right. Make sure you're staying up to date with our videos and you're sharing them and uploading them. We drop our episodes. The audio's on Tuesday, 8 a.m. on all platforms, all podcast distribution platforms, and the videos come out on Wednesdays on YouTube. So be ready for that. And fellas, we got we had an exciting weekend, right?
Sure did, absolutely.
An exciting weekend of sports. But first, what is it? Tomorrow, I think tomorrow is the anniversary of a tragedy, right?
Yes, it is. That's right. 1 year already of the passing.
It's crazy,
Kobe
right?
And Gigi. It is, man. Like, legit, when I texted you guys earlier today, it legit just came to me because I think I saw someone like tweet about it, that tomorrow is going to be the 1-year anniversary of the death of Kobe Bryant and and Gigi, as well as the rest of the people that passed in that tragic plane crash. And yeah, man, I was just like, damn, like, has it really been helicopter? Thank you, John. And yeah, I was just like, damn, has it already been a year? Like, it doesn't feel like it's been a year since they've passed. Can remember that happened or hearing about it just the other day, and just it's unbelievable that time really flies. And
right, it is crazy. But now it's a year later, right? Do you guys still remember where you were at when you got the news?
Yeah, I remember. I was at home and I had just finished watching a Kobe interview the day before. And then that morning I heard the news. It was crazy. It's crazy that it's been a year, and compared to the year that we've had, it's just crazy that, we're still in the coronavirus and Kobe passed just about a year ago.
We wasn't even thinking about the coronavirus when Kobe passed, man.
No, we weren't. Absolutely not. And I think that was like legit right before the coronavirus actually like blew up and stuff, and got big. So I remember where I was. I was actually on vacation in Arizona. It was my last day out there. I was getting ready to leave, and I was just in my hotel room watching TV, and then boom, all of a sudden I saw the news pop up on TV that Kobe and Gigi passed, and I was like, wait, what? Like, this can't be true. Like, I didn't initially believe it, but then when I heard multiple people and sources confirm it, then I'm like, damn, I guess it really is true. So yeah, no, it's so one of those things that just you'll always remember where you at, like you said, and they'll always stick, with you. And
right,
yeah. So
I remember, because we talked about this when we first started the show, right? And we touched up on it, maybe like a few episodes in. And I wanted to see if you guys actually remembered, and I do remember your stories. I was actually in bed when I got the news. But I saw it online. I saw it on TMZ. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why the fuck would TMZ, like, why would they, be
post that and break that story
about
right.
Kobe Bryant? And I mean, so I went on Bleacher Report, ESPN, all that stuff. I didn't see the story, so I'm like, these people are always bullshitting about somebody's death. You know what I'm saying? Because that happens a lot, and I still remember it, man. That's crazy. So, rest in peace to Kobe. Remembering him tomorrow. That's why you'll see all these tributes on TV, on the sports channels. But actually the Lakers are not going to be doing a big tribute, like a memorial thing, because they feel like it's way too painful to like relive that stuff right now. So, which is understandable. But let's get into the pod, man. So we had an exciting week, an exciting weekend of sports, right? We saw the AFC championships, against the Bills versus the Mahomes. And then we saw, the Packers versus the Billy Goats and Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? And it was an exciting weekend, right? So Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. 31-26 was the score. Tom Brady went 20 for 36, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Leonard Fournette went for 12 rushes for 55 yards, 1 TD. Chris Godwin got 5 catches for 110 yards. Aaron Rodgers went for 33 for 48, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 4 catches for 115 yards. Devontae Adams had 9 catches and 67 yards and 1 TD. And Packers chose to kick a field goal instead of going for it on 4th down in the final 2 minutes. So I know you guys are big Buccaneers guys, TB12. You know
Yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it. First of all, Brady's going back to a 10th Super Bowl, right? It's never been
Wow.
done before. I don't think it will ever be done again,
Yeah.
right?
Neither.
He is now going to take his second team, which he'll be like the second quarterback to ever do that, to the Super Bowl. And if he wins it, he'll be the second quarterback to do that also.
Yep.
Um, he will now be he's on the first team to host a Super Bowl in their own stadium. It's like,
I
yo,
know.
you have
That's
every accolade. How
incredible.
much more do you need? You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
this dude is like breaking records he didn't even know was there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
What'd you guys think, man?
It was an exciting weekend of games, like you mentioned. The Packers versus Green Bay game, I was excited and waiting for, especially as a Patriots fan that's still supporting Tom Brady. I was eager to watch that game. Um, Tom Brady had a first half better than any other half you can ever imagine. You know what I mean? Especially at the end of that half when he threw that touchdown to Scotty Miller. And that was just a beautiful throw, beautiful execution. Just the Packers were asleep and they caught them sleeping. You know what I mean? He didn't have a great second half, but he had a good second half, good enough to bring them to the Super Bowl. And the Packers, like you said, the Packers choosing to kick a field goal when they were in position in position
In
to
the red
score
zone.
in the red zone, in position to
Yeah.
score, and they didn't give the ball to Aaron Rodgers. And even if you threw an interception, at least you tried. You know what I mean? Um, that was unbelievable. And you give it back to Brady, which he's one of the best closers in Super Bowl history. I could not
For real. Right,
I could
right.
not understand that.
I'm like,
But
have you ever played Madden, bro? Like, like what are you doing?
Yeah, that was unbelievable. But just that game was, to me, personally, I was just so excited for Brady. Brady's going to his 10th Super Bowl. Unbelievable. So many different emotions, come to that game. It's just I can't be more proud to have called this guy my quarterback when he was the quarterback on my team. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was certainly a great game uh, to watch. It was exciting. A lot of a lot of ups and downs. On both sides, and momentum swings. As we know, that's kind of what playoff football is about. Uh, that definitely the Bucks played a really good first half. Uh, Brady was cooking early and really was in rhythm. Uh, you know, right from that first drive when right down the field, had those couple big plays to Mike Evans, and then and that really set the tone for for the Bucks, and then that they were able to score a couple times after that. Leonard Fournette had a touchdown run, which was a really nice run, uh, and set up by a really good catch by Godwin, um, who actually dropped the pass right before that
He
play.
dropped
But
a few.
yeah, that's true. It was crazy because I remember that drive he had dropped, like usually dropped a few passes, but particularly on that drive, he dropped a pass in the next play. Surprisingly, Brady went right back to him and threw it down the field, and he legit actually caught it and made a more difficult catch than the one that he dropped. So that set up the Fournette touchdown, and then that pretty much they had the lead from there. The Packers, I think definitely struggled, particularly in the first half offensively. I think that was due to the Bucks defense. I thought they played well in the first half, and in the game overall. Certainly the second half was a different story. Well, before the second half, definitely that play by Scotty Miller, and that was, I honestly think, the difference in the game right there. Because if they don't get that touchdown, then who knows, what the outcome would be. But yeah, that was definitely a big time blown coverage by the Packers, without question. I don't know how you not let someone with 8 seconds behind you with in that situation. But yeah, going to the second half, I thought obviously the Bucs offense struggled, to move the ball and to take care of the ball, but the Packers couldn't capitalize on their turnovers. And only scored 7 points off of those 3 interceptions by Brady, and then weren't able to to complete their comeback and close it out. Not converting that 2-point conversion was another big play
That was
that
huge.
should
That
have,
was huge.
and it was a clear drop. It was a really good throw by
Oh my
Rodgers. Hit him
God. It's like, what are
right
you
in the
doing?
hands.
What are you thinking?
Right in the breadbasket.
It
And
couldn't
just,
have been more perfect.
yeah, exactly. And then he just flat out dropped it, and then that put them in a position where at the end of the game where they were down 8 after the Bucs got that field goal, and they had to, not only get a touchdown but a 2-point conversion. And then we obviously know how, the rest of it went with them, going for the field goal, and instead of, instead of going for it on 4th down from the 8-yard line, even though they didn't really convert on those first 3 plays, they're all passing plays and they were all incomplete. So I think it was definitely a questionable call and decision by Matt LaFleur, the, coach of the Packers. At the time, I kind of could understand it because you still have 3 timeouts left, and plus the 2-minute warning, and the first 3 plays didn't look good at all. Like they weren't able to move the ball and didn't look anything like they weren't close to completing any sort of passes on either one of those plays. Like, yeah, they could have given Aaron Rodgers a chance at the end of the game, one last chance to score and possibly give themselves cut it to 2 with going for the 2-point conversion. But I guess he was confident enough in his defense to get one more stop and to, get the ball back, with enough time, for Aaron Rodgers to score. But, clearly that didn't happen, and the Bucs certainly did a great job of closing out that game. And, Tom Brady did what he does, at the end of games in the playoffs, and, and got the job done and did what he had to do to win the game. So just a really good game, by the Bucs, and they definitely executed and made the plays when they had to, and the defense backed up, Brady when he had to. So, and definitely shout out to Tom Brady for going to his 10th Super Bowl. It's a incredible and remarkable, accomplishment that he's been able to do.
For sure, man. Yeah, a lot of great points, man. I thought, like you guys said, Bucs, great first half. Brady, he looked like he was out there. He was playing to win. In the first half, he was definitely playing to win, especially that pass to Miller, man. Because the half he could have nailed that, and he could have went into the other half, the second half with no problems. But he had that look in his eyes, man, and we seen that look plenty of times before. When I seen them go for it, and if you've been watching Tom Brady, if you're anywhere, near the 50-yard line of the other team, anywhere past that, he's gonna take a shot. You know what I'm saying? That's most likely that's where he's gonna take a shot, and they took a shot. I don't know if they thought that they were actually going to connect on that, but they did. You know what I'm saying? I think the second half, the Packers did. They just lost the game, man. You know what I'm saying? You flat out lost the game because you were within a touchdown. Tom Brady threw 3 straight picks. You didn't do anything with one of those picks, okay? And, we're from the area where Bill Belichick always talks about situational football. You know what I'm saying? When have you seen the Patriots get 3 straight picks other than probably this past year, that you didn't see us at least score field goal, something on any of those. You know what I'm
They did
saying?
get one touchdown on one of those picks. They got 7 points off of those 3 turnovers, but it was 2 of them that they didn't do anything with.
Right, because they went 3 and out. The second,
Right.
the third one, you went 3 and out. The second one,
they didn't even move the ball in the third one.
They didn't move the ball at all, man. And Aaron Rodgers could not connect with Devontae Adams, man. And, I mean, he's the best receiver on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, hands down, you know, against Mike Evans, I'll put anybody against Devontae Adams, and they just couldn't connect on anything. Aaron Rodgers, his decision making was pretty questionable on that last drive, especially that last throw there where he could have taken off, and you know, even if he gets stopped, he's like at the 2nd yard line. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's like you're like at the 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then you would have gone for it. Then even then, I would have gone for it, even where they were at. You know what I'm saying?
At the 8-yard line.
You have
8.
Yes, I would have gone for it. You have Tom Brady on the other side, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many interceptions Tom Brady throws. You don't give the ball back to Tom Brady with 2 minutes left on the clock. That's way too much time. Okay, we've seen what he can do.
Timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
When you have the opportunity to close out the game against Tom Brady, you just got to
do it.
You even because you know why? Even if you don't score, let's say you go on 4th and 4th down and you don't score and you don't get anything, you still have three timeout and
the 2-minute warning.
You still have it. So that means
listen.
You tried this time, and if you don't got it, then you get to try it again. But not trying at all, you're gonna lose. It's Tom Brady. It's Tom. Man.
But listen,
that's right.
You go for it in that side of the field and you don't get it. The Bucks are on their 8-yard line.
Right.
You're on your 8. What are you doing?
Another reason.
You know what I'm saying? They're on their 8-yard line. They're even worse field position than they would be if you punted the ball.
And somebody's been throwing picks. You don't know if he's gonna throw another one.
He's not gonna go through the rest of the field, you know, without. They were not clicking at all. I can't say he was not, but they weren't clicking at all up to that point in the second half. So my chances would have been, listen, I'd rather you take it on your 8 than your 40 or your 30 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
The Packers coaching staff definitely did not show up the way they were supposed to. The only thing they did right was stopping the Bucks running offense. And that's why Tom Brady threw so many picks. They were getting nothing on the run. They had only one good run, that touchdown by Fournette. That was their one really good run. But the Bucks did a good job stopping their running game, but they didn't do enough. And they didn't take enough. They didn't take enough risk. They didn't have the right defense against Carter Miller.
Listen, if you're Aaron Rodgers, are you saying something to your coach?
I mean,
like, do you think Tom Brady would be like, nah, we just give the ball back?
Nah, Tom Brady's. I mean,
Tom Brady's definitely like, yo, let's go for it.
That's what happened in the
Super Bowl.
No, that's what happened before the second half. Before the second half, he went to Bruce Arians and said, no, we should go for it.
And if you remember in the Super Bowl, he did the same thing to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick's like, well, I think we can run it. He's like, no, let's just kick the field goal and move on. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna let's kick it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, there needs to be like a collaborative effort. Like, bro, this is your legacy at the end of the day.
Well, Aaron Rodgers said he thought they were gonna go for it on 4th down.
Say something.
Well, he should have spoke up more. Right.
Well, all he saw was the kicking team running to the field. So he was.
Listen, bro. Aaron Rodgers is always talking about how great Tom Brady is. They have Tom Brady, bro. We have to go for this. You know, if I'm him, like, yo, like, this is Tom Brady over there, okay? I'm Aaron Rodgers. This is Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. We going for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, absolutely.
There's no other decisions that need to be made. There's 2 minutes left in the game.
Because imagine somebody is giving you a chance to win that game. Because imagine if Brady didn't throw those picks. Some of those picks were not necessarily his fault, but
right. The Evans one was not his
yeah,
fault.
you know, and
Yeah.
even the last one he threw when he was trying to throw to Evans when he got rushed
underthrown.
when he got rushed by the blitz.
That was bad.
That it was bad, but I understand him trying to make that play. You know what I mean? Throwing it up and giving it up to like, okay, Evans versus that cornerback,
Giving him a chance.
who's gonna make that play? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it was underthrown and it got picked. But if Brady gives you a chance to win a game and you're not gonna go aggressive and try to win it, but you're not winning. And you know who's gonna be aggressive? Andy Reid is gonna be aggressive
At all times, because they know.
Absolutely.
Andy Reid
know
is
how to
not.
play.
Andy Reid is not gonna play.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very aggressive.
For real, man.
No,
Any last comments on this?
Man, I just want to say.
Go ahead, Vlad.
I just want to say, I was just so elated for Tom Brady. Like when he threw that touchdown to Scott Miller, I was just screaming out of.
Vlad was screaming. Vlad doesn't get excited so much. He was screaming.
I know, man. Wow,
I was
that
just
made Vlad scream. I got him up out of his couch.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. Nobody else would have thrown that ball so perfectly and decide to go in that situation besides Tom Brady.
I think somebody could throw it that perfectly. I don't think nobody else would go for it there.
That's what. Yeah, nobody would just the whole thing just screamed Tom Brady to me.
Yeah,
the whole thing just screamed like Tom Brady is gonna go for it, and he's not here to play.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy just got to the Bucs. First year with the Bucs, he's in the Super Bowl. And you know that's what everybody wanted him to do. Everybody was saying if the Bucs don't make it to the Super Bowl, it's a bad year for Brady.
Look at their team, bro.
And he's there. He's there.
Look at your team.
No, I mean you can have
everything.
No, but you can have the team. You can have the team and still not make it. But he actually,
for sure.
He actually rose up to the challenge. Be like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Shit. And do you have one last word for Brady and the Packers, Barry?
Yeah, just wanted to, to really say, on how impressive, this really is on how he's playing and what he's been able to do his first year with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and and the fact that he's still doing it at age 43 when when this doesn't happen in sports and with other athletes. Usually they're done and retired by now, and he's still playing well enough to win and bring his team to championships. I mean, it's just a testament to his greatness and and how and how much he he wins, and what in that fact that he does whatever it takes to win when it matters the most, and he always comes up and the biggest moments in the biggest games and delivers most of the time. So just wanted to commend him for that, and it's been definitely blessed to be able to watch him for the last 21 years and continue to see his greatness. So I'm definitely appreciative of what everything he's done, not only for the Patriots but even this year for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So he's certainly been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I had to let you guys, give you guys your chance to say your piece about the beloved Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all riding hard. Only thing I can say is, man, like ESPN, man, y'all, ESPN Sports Center, y'all gotta fucking do better, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like all this shit about Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, he's so much better. He's so much better than Brady. Blah blah blah. It's like, bro, just shut up, bro. You know what I'm saying? When they do these little questionnaires talking about there's 2 minutes left and last drive of the game, which quarterback would you trust more? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning? Please stop that bullshit.
Exactly. Thank you.
No, like. You guys are a sports business, okay? Like, don't ask stupid questions. You know what I'm saying? You know the answer to these things, and like, you don't have to push somebody else in there because like there's nobody's ever gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady's definitely my favorite player ever. You know, as a Patriot, you know, I'm definitely not a Bucks fan though. You know what I mean? I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. You know, but hey, the guy's going to a 10th Super Bowl and has a chance to get a 7th, and I hope he does so he can like. You know what's funny? Next year they're gonna be like, "Is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time?" like even if he wins this year, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back next season. Is Tom Brady still the like? Come on, bro! Like this shit is ridiculous. But let's
Not
get
only
into
is he the greatest quarterback of all time, I think honestly, you could even make a case and say he's the greatest professional athlete that's played professional sports. I definitely really think you could
I say best
make an
winner.
argument for that.
I'll say best winner.
Or at least best winner.
I stay away from the athlete word.
Okay, best winner. That's a fair point. I just want to give this quick stat on Aaron Rodgers before we move on to the next game.
I know the stat.
Right. So apparently Aaron Rodgers is 0-42 when trailing by more than 1 point in the fourth quarter to a team with a 500-plus record. So, I mean, that goes to show
that's
that
the definition
this guy
of
doesn't
not
get
clutch.
it done in crunch time. Exactly, John. Like you were just saying, he doesn't deliver in those big moments. And when you need him to, make those plays, he's not able to get it done and execute. And it's crazy that he can't win in a year where he's going to be the MVP, the number 1 seed, and home field advantage. And he still can't make it to the Super Bowl and win a championship. So I think this is just a testament to, like you said, his legacy, John, and that, he's going to be known as a choker and a guy that just can't get it done in the playoffs.
Hey, man, Tom Brady's already matched their records, and he's been there 1 year. Breeze and Rodgers, so.
And he beat them both in their
beat them both on their way. Imagine if we'll get into that game later.
Right.
What's up, Vlad?
One last thing I want to say. What, Barry?
No. I just said, what up, Vlad? Go ahead, man.
Just the Patriots should be ashamed of themselves. The Patriots, Bill Belichick, Mr. Kraft, they should be ashamed of themselves for letting Tom Brady go. And
yeah, go ahead.
To have a quarterback, the greatest quarterback of all time, who, if you had offered him a 2-year contract, $50 million contract, $25 million a year, he would have stayed here and be here and give you a chance. And to see what we saw this year, it's an unbelievable disaster. You let the greatest quarterback of all time go to give us nothing. Literally, you had no plan. And I think it's a shame. And it just shows you how important Tom Brady was. I know there's been a lot of conversation about who's the most important, but this definitely tells you how important Tom Brady was to what was happening in New England. And
absolutely,
it's a damn shame.
I don't think I want to take the time to bash the Patriots because that's still my team.
No, I mean it's my team, but I have to be.
When people talk, it's like
I have to be critical of my team.
It's like, Bill Belichick sucks now. It's like what like Brady went to a really good team and he did what he was supposed to do. Now we have to build our team and get back in the winning column. If truthfully said, if any other coach had Bill Belichick's roster this year and won 7 games, they would have been, held up higher than Bill Belichick has been being held up.
Yeah, that's because
if Tom Brady didn't leave, like this wouldn't have been a narrative at all. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, Brady left.
I bet you the team would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have won. I don't think they would have went to the Super Bowl because we had a really good team the year before that. A really good defense. We didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
We would have been in the playoffs. But my point is, it's about critiquing the team that you're a fan of. If you're a fan of a team and they're doing bullshit, you got to be able to critique what they're doing. If you're letting the best quarterback of all time go, you need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan and you're just letting them go, then that's just wasting time and wasting people's energy. When you have the greatest of all time, like that's just.
But how many times does that happen? How many times does that happen when a Hall of Famer leaves and there's immediately a really good quarterback right after?
but you had no plan. It's not about having a good quarterback right after. It's just you had no plan. You brought in somebody.
I think any plan they had.
You brought in somebody that couldn't play, and you had two other quarterbacks that couldn't play on the roster. So you had no plan. At least have a plan. If you're the greatest coach of all time and the greatest GM of all time, didn't have a plan.
Okay, let's say you knew Tom Brady was leaving, right? As Bill Belichick, right? Who would you have come in?
No,
Phillip Rivers.
Give Tom Brady that $50 million that he deserved. He's been taking pay cuts after pay cuts.
What if they don't want to play with each other no more?
No, Brady wanted a 2-year contract, and Bill Belichick said no, and he wanted to give him 1-year contract after 1-year contract, which is bullshit, which is a disrespect to Tom Brady to not give him what he deserved. He's been taking pay cuts after pay cuts for you to not just want to give him a $50 million contract, which any other team would be lucky to do that. Come on, let's be honest here.
You also got to consider the age stuff too, man. What Brady's doing, nobody's ever done this.
Okay, and look at it. No, that's why he's the greatest of all time. That's why you give him. That's why you give him the benefit of the doubt. Just that
you give him the benefit of the doubt, and then you give him like pretty much all your cap space. Then what do you have to sign him with?
$50 million is not $25 million.
Who are you gonna sign?
$25 million is not that much cap space that you couldn't have given to him.
For them to go out and get him like reliable weapons.
Listen,
yeah, they would have had money left. Absolutely.
Who are they going to get
on this?
They
could have gotten some serviceable receivers.
I like Diggs, but would he have solved all our problems if we had Diggs?
No, I don't think we had the money to go get Diggs, but.
No, actually, the story is that Tom Brady wanted him to go out and get Diggs, and
Are you kidding me? Did you see what Diggs do over there? Let's have a real conversation now. Josh Allen had a great year not just because of Diggs, but Diggs was a big reason why he had such a great year. And you tell me if Diggs came over here with Tom Brady, come on, let's be honest. We
would have went to the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying I don't know if we would have, but we would have been a way better year for sure.
I think we would have at least made the AFC championship.
We would have.
All I'm saying is we need to be critical. We need to be critical of Bill when we need to be critical of Bill. Bill did a terrible job this year by not having the team ready to have a better team, and that needs to be.
I think you can say that he did a terrible job this year. You know what I'm saying? But
of course.
The narrative I'm seeing, I'm just like not with it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like the narrative about him being such a bad drafter. The guy drafted the greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? As well as several other Hall of Fame players.
He drafted the greatest player of all time.
We go down the line.
He drafted the greatest player of all time by luck. Everybody went over him.
Doesn't it take luck for you to be good?
Everybody went over Tom Brady. Though I'm gonna give him credit for Rob Gronkowski, for Jared Mayo, for
Richard Seymour, for Vince Wilfork, Willie McGinnis.
I'm gonna give him credit. Not Willie, but I'm gonna give him credit for all that. But I'm not gonna give him the.
You're going to give him credit for bringing in Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, Wes Welker, for bringing in Antonio Brown when Brady wanted him to.
That's great and all. That's great and all, but you got to understand one of the reasons why these players wanted to come here is because not just because Bill Belichick was here, is because you had a great quarterback in Tom Brady. It's one of the reasons why those guys wanted to come here.
Nobody goes anywhere just because of the coach. You know what I'm saying? That's why, what's his name? The kid that plays for the Titans didn't come over here because his excuse was, I think Tom Brady's going to retire soon.
Oh, yeah, Adam Humphries, right?
There we go. Yeah, so a lot of people had that in their mind. Even like...
y'all got it wrong.
Listen.
We were dead wrong about it.
I like the arguments. I think a lot of arguments could be made, on both sides. And, hey, this is what we got to deal with now. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Patriots go. Tom Brady's gone. He's doing what he do. We got to figure out this mess that is left behind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still on board, and I'm you know what I mean? We got to do what we got to do. But let's move on to the other game that actually happened that really wasn't as competitive as the Packers and Buccaneers game was, which is the Bills and versus Kansas City. Bills went to Kansas City and they played and the score of the game was 38-24. Josh Allen of the Bills went 28 for 48 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Josh Allen rushed 7 times for 88 yards. That's crazy. That's really good. Cole Beasley, he had 7 catches for 88 yards. Cole Beasley actually played with a broken fibula in the game. That's a fucking warrior.
Beast,
right?
absolutely.
And he had one of the most underrated years at the receiver position all year.
He did.
Stephon Diggs, it's my guy, man. I really like Diggs. He had 6 catches for 77 yards. Mahomes, even though he had a concussion and turf toe, he came in and did what Mahomes does.
Balled out.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I was saying, the game, it wasn't as competitive, as the score doesn't even say it's competitive. 38-24 is not that competitive. But what'd you guys see in the game? What was the key? How could the Bills have come out with the win?
I mean, I think the Bills tried, and I think defensively they could have been better. But they were playing against such a talented offense, and I think the Kansas City offense was a little bit too much for them. The Kansas City defense apparently confused Josh Allen. He made uncharacteristic mistakes.
I got you, bro.
Uncharacteristic mistakes. But I'm so proud of the Bills and the story that they've accomplished this year. They made it to the AFC Championship. I think that's such a great story.
Absolutely.
But I think on the other side of the ball, we also have a beautiful story of Mahomes going back-to-back Super Bowl, which hasn't been done since Tom Brady did it in 2003 and 2004.
The goat versus the baby goat versus the Billy goat.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see those guys going at each other.
That's gonna be something.
Yeah, it is. For sure. I'm excited for that matchup. With this game, the Bills got off to a good start. I thought they played well. Right out of the gate, they got out to that 9-0 lead. Had a good first couple of possessions. Then I think for some reason, I don't know why, they would do this against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, similar to what the Packers, were what we were just talking about. They got too conservative. I feel like they played, too conservative after those getting to that lead, and they didn't play aggressive, and and didn't try to really extend that lead and really take it to the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I thought, Josh Allen had a good start, and and did a good job in setting the tone. But after that 9-0 lead, the Kansas City just pretty much took over the game, and they were the dominant team that they were. They showed that they were the better team of those two teams. Then had by far the superior talent. With what they have offensively, in terms of not only Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, who both had huge games. I don't know how you let that happen. If you're the Bills, you got to double one of those guys, and and at least take away one of them. But they both had big days. Even the running back, I thought that rookie Edwards-Helaire, or whatever his name is, I thought he played well and did his thing. So it was definitely a good team win for the Chiefs, and and everyone contributed offensively and did their part. I thought their defense was pretty good after that slow start that they had. When they started being more aggressive with their defensive play calling and started blitzing more and bringing those free runners at Josh Allen and really getting him out of rhythm and really throwing him off his game and just putting him under pressure where he had no time to throw. The Bills' offensive line struggled to protect him, and the Chiefs, exploited that. I think, Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, had a great game plan, and the Chiefs defense executed it well, for sure. So I think, the Chiefs are by far the best team in the AFC and deserve to be in the Super Bowl, and be playing in back-to-back Super Bowls 2 years in a row. But it's definitely, I'm still impressed with what the Bills have done this year. No one thought they'd make it this far to the AFC Championship game and put themselves in position.
I thought they could.
Right, we thought they couldn't. It was a possibility.
I
but
thought they could last year.
I'm not so sure about that.
No. What I'm saying is, I thought that they could, make it here last year, just seeing their progression. You know what I'm saying? Coming from last year, because they were a handful last year to play us. Yeah,
no, you're right. No question. They played, the Patriots tough, and then they even, had that. I thought they played okay in that playoff game last year against the Texans, but unfortunately they just came up short and lost in overtime. But I think that definitely, fueled them and gave them more motivation to get better, and particularly Josh Allen. He took, he grew and so much and matured so much from a year ago. It's night and day. This guy's legit an elite quarterback now, and a top 5 quarterback in this game. Before, you couldn't even say that he was a top 10 quarterback, but now he's among the best in the league, and he's still young, and he's only going to get better from here. Definitely adding Stephon Diggs was a huge part to his success, but I think Josh Allen even though he had a tough game yesterday, he's come a long way, and I think with, and their coach is very good as well. McDermott, he's a pretty good coach and has definitely changed the culture.
For sure.
With the Bills. So definitely the Bills should be proud of their team. I'm sure they are. Bills Mafia, and the rest of the Bills fans. And, definitely I'm impressed with what I've saw, and I think the Bills definitely will, continue to get better, and wouldn't be surprised if they're back here in the same game, in the same position for next year. But definitely congrats to the Chiefs on going to winning the AFC Championship and going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Facts, man. I always like to see a closer game than that in the playoffs. Because I'm used to all the close games we've had here over the years. You're in your seat, you're sweating, the armpits sweaty, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're screaming at the TV, at the refs making stupid calls. That's how I like to watch football.
I miss that feeling.
Exactly. I really do, man. I like to be at the edge of my seat. I like the game as close as possible, even if my team's in it. I don't want to see us go in there and just. I mean, it's always nice to see, just killing another team. You know what I'm saying?
Them. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, as a sports fan, I want to see, a game. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't really get that,
Exactly.
The Bills did start off fast. Nicole Hardman, he fumbled in the red zone, and all they had to do was punch that in. You know what I'm saying? So they got up 9-0 in the first quarter and stuff, and they were rolling. But we see what the game is. The game of NFL is a game of adjustments, right? And we saw Kansas City adjust, and the Bills didn't. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City started blitzing Josh Allen left and right. They were kind of like Blitzburg, But
for real,
we saw, what Josh Allen he's developing into, right? Usually quarterbacks have a really hard time dealing with the blitz in the beginning of their career. But when you get to a later part of your career, blitzing is really not a good idea. Because if you blitz Tom Brady like that, he's going to pick you apart. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He knows where the blitz is coming from. And he knows if you're going to blitz, there's going to be guys that are open. And there's nobody that's making quicker decisions than him. Patrick Mahomes, he does the same shit. You blitz him, it's a problem. You know, those guys, a lot of zones. You know what I'm saying? For you to have any success against them, you gotta have a lot of zones, and you know, guys got to get physical and stuff like that. And you know, Josh Allen, he's not there yet. You know, he's really, really good. I think the next stage of his career is like learning how to deal with these blitzes, and learning where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's seen a lot of coverages. Good thing for them, you know, from what I've heard, Josh Allen, he's like a student in the game and he works on it. And it's important to him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't doubt he's gonna get better. You know, Josh Allen might be the best quarterback in the AFC for a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? If we don't get, if the Patriots don't get, who else are you thinking in the AFC East?
Oh, the AFC. I thought I was about to say we're forgetting about Mahomes.
Not Mahomes. I meant the AFC East. He's going to be the best quarterback in the AFC East.
That's a much better
point. What happens if Deshaun Watson comes to the AFC East?
That's true. That's another thing could happen. Then he definitely has more competition for sure.
Lord, if Deshaun Watson comes here, first of all, it depends on who he would go to. Because if he goes to the Jets, they don't have any weapons, just like us. You know,
they're going to have good receivers.
But he's Deshaun Watson.
He's Deshaun Watson. You know, even with the team he had this year, he led the league in passing yards. So, you know what? It's safe to say Deshaun, like, if you put Deshaun Watson on the Chiefs, it's like, I don't know if there's much of a drop-off from him and Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the weapons that he has around him, you know, I think you could argue that he could do, you know, just about as much as Patrick Mahomes could in that offense if he's in there. You know, with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, you know, Edwards-Helaire, Coleman, all them guys, man. It would be crazy. But Josh Allen's for sure to be the best quarterback in the AFC is for a long time coming if he keeps on this trajectory and if he keeps developing at the pace that he is, because he's a young pup in this thing and he's already there, man. And one thing I really love seeing was Stephon Diggs, man. Just watching the ceremony at the end there, you know.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. You posted that on the ProFans Sports IG.
Right, ProFans_sports. Follow us. But I love seeing stuff like that because you see how hungry he is, man. And I think next year, man, watch out. The league needs to watch out. If they get a couple more pieces, they get a nice running game. The Bills, they work on their defense a little bit because that's what let them down pretty much throughout the game. I think they can be a really hard team to handle in any given situation. So
I'd probably say they need another receiver too, because I like Diggs and Beasley, but they need like a third guy.
They need a number 2 receiver is what they need, because because
Beasley's more of a third receiver since he's a slot guy. No doubt. But what if the Jets draft Trevor Lawrence? That's another guy that could be, if he pans out, could be a
he's a rookie, so we'll have to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's given in this league. You know, we'll just have to see what happens. Justin Herbert wasn't the number 1 pick, and he's the offensive rookie of the year. Right, you know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see how he does in the league. But Super Bowl, that's February 7th?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
February 7th, right. Tampa Bay versus Buccaneers. I said Tampa Bay versus Buccaneers. Tampa Bay versus Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl. Tampa Bay's first team to have to play in their own stadium. Brady versus Mahomes. Another time. You know what I'm saying? We know those games are really, really they're really competitive, man. Those games are usually really competitive.
I just think it's so funny that, Tom Brady started with, the game that you wanted to watch was Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning.
Yes.
But Tom Brady's been in the league so long, so freaking long, that now the young kid coming in is the young kid that's facing Tom Brady, and that's the game you want to watch now. Like,
it's literally the old face of the league versus a new face of the league. The old face still being part of the face of the league too. It's like this dude, he's
for real.
He's unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable. But in the coming weeks we'll break down the game. and, give you guys our prediction. We'll delve into matchups, situations, coaches, all that stuff, the whole nine before the game starts. But get ready for the Super
Looking
Bowl.
forward to it.
Get ready for the Super Bowl, man.
It's going to be a great one, guys. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get into actually some Patriots news, because they actually had some news this week, even though they're in the offseason. Josh McDaniel, he did not get a head coaching job. I didn't think he was in the first place because, ever since he left the Colts after he signed, I didn't think he was going to get another shot.
I thought he might get that Eagles job because they apparently interviewed him multiple times, and he was legit one of those days there all day until like 9 p.m. But, they decided to go a different route. But I thought that was his best bet was the Eagles job. After he didn't get the Eagles job, I knew that he wasn't going to get any other jobs out there.
Right. Other Patriots news, Matt Patricia, who was fired from the Detroit Lions after 3 years of head coaching duty, he is now back with the Patriots. He's going to be on the coaching staff. His role is not specified, but he's going to be working with the team in multiple capacities. I hear a lot of people, no, but I think it's a good move, because that's an experienced coach in the league that's worked with the Patriots. And, he's not a head coach, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think he was a bad assistant coach when he was here, even though his defenses weren't that great. The bend don't break stuff, I don't like that shit at all.
Me either.
But
can't stand that.
I think it's good for the Patriots to get experience into the building and not having to go, hire outside of their organization, and break somebody in that doesn't know, the Patriot way and stuff like that. And I think it's a good thing, because every year you see they take our coaches. Gerard Mayo was he was interviewing. Josh McDaniel was interviewing. So the NFL literally signs our coaches every year, but they talk shit about the team every single year. So,
Facts.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
all right.
Facts.
More Lions news, actually. Affiliate of the Lions, Matthew Stafford, long starter in Detroit. Him and the Lions have agreed that they will be parting ways. Because the Lions, they're, like I said in a couple episodes before, they're looking to blow that thing up. And Matthew Stafford could be had, right? And I remember I talked to you guys about that was my pick of a free agency that should come in, or somebody that we could get in the building if they decide to blow it up. But I wanted to, ask you guys, should the Patriots go, after Stafford? And how much assets should the Patriots allocate to him? How much would you give up for him? Because the Lions are talking about they're going to ask for at least a first-round pick. They're not going to specify. They're not saying number one, but they're going to ask for at least a first-round pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Anything is better than what we have now. Matthew Stafford, I'm sure he still has another 5 years.
He's 33.
He's a guy that's been injured a lot, though. So I'm a little worried about that. But he has probably another 5 years in the league, so he could be a good transitional quarterback to whatever our future hold. And he's somebody that can definitely get us in, playoff contention. Not to be in the playoffs for sure, but definitely get us to compete to be in the playoffs. So after the year that we had at quarterback, it's almost like we are beggars and we can't be choosers, and we'll take almost anybody.
We can't.
I'm not.
You said it. Bill Belichick fucked us.
Damn right.
I'm not a fan of Stafford. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not a fan of Stafford. But will I take him over what we have now? Yeah.
No. I think would you trade the 15th overall pick? I think we will have to. If we need to get him, that's what we will have to do. I personally just don't like him.
Yeah, I say bring him here. Pick him up. That definitely I want to see the Patriots go for and make a move in an offer for Matt Stafford for him to be the next quarterback here. If they do have that opportunity, I certainly think this guy can still play. You know, he puts up good numbers every year, even though a lot of people, you know, don't really watch him play and watch Lions play. I don't watch him much, but, you know, I'm big into the fantasy and, you know, and I usually for one of my leagues, I always have him as one of my quarterbacks because I know he puts up really good numbers.
A lot of numbers, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If those yards, you know, throws for a good amount of touchdowns and you know and completion. So I mean, he can still play. It's just unfortunate that you know he's been you know not really looked at by not a lot of people just because Lions haven't won shit and haven't been you know to the playoffs in a while. So I think you know a lot of people think, oh, he's not that good because he doesn't win and make the playoffs. No, it's because the team around him sucks.
Organization sucks.
It sucks and lousy. I swear that organization, John, that's the worst organization in professional sports, hands down.
For sure.
Definitely at the top of the list without question. So I don't blame him for wanting to get out of there. Don't waste the rest of your career there. You still, like you said, have a few years left that you can still play. 33 is still you know, in the prime and it's still a good.
That's your prime.
Yeah, exactly. For a quarterback, you still could, you know what I'm saying, have some good some good years in you. So, and I think he's not done. I think if the Patriots have to give up that 15th, you know, overall pick that they have, they should do that in a heartbeat without any hesitation. That's something they shouldn't even think twice about. I'm just wondering how that relationship's gonna be with him and Matt Patricia, even though Matt Patricia just said
he ain't the head coach.
Right. That's Belichick's call.
Go somewhere, buddy.
But I don't know if Patricia's gonna talk down to Belichick about him since he didn't really do that well with you know with Patricia then the 3 years that he was as the coach there. So maybe Patricia said, no, don't pick this guy up. I don't think you know say you can. You know, he'll be a good quarterback for us or whatever. I hope that doesn't happen. But I certainly think the Patriots should get this guy if they have the chance to do so and give up whatever draft picks. I think they're going to have to give up multiple picks. So I think, I think not only that first rounder, but it'll probably be maybe like a third rounder or something or at least another pick in there. So if they have to do that, then you know, they should definitely get it done without question.
Belichick is not going to listen to Patricia. Who the hell is Patricia?
No, I mean,
that's his boy.
No.
He brought him back.
Listen.
That's his boy, but he's not gonna take. He's gonna be like, yeah, but this is the Patriots. Like we treat players differently. We put players in position to win,
to succeed. All right.
If Belichick and McDaniels want him, they're gonna get him.
Listen, Bill Belichick
I agree with that.
Should want him. Like, you have no choice. You know, Bill, if you watch this show, which I know he doesn't watch this show. Okay?
I don't think he watches any shows, Belichick.
Bill, if you're watching this show, sign Matthew Stafford, okay? The only other person that could possibly become available is like what's his name? Matt Ryan, you know, if they decide to blow it up over there, but I think that would be stupid because
or Jimmy G. What do you got? Jimmy G's like, nah.
Listen. Let me tell you something, okay? Matthew Stafford has the most yards of any quarterback that hasn't been in the playoffs. Okay, the dude, he has the best completion percentage of passes over 50 yards in the league. You know who's second?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
The guy.
His numbers are that big time. Wow.
Yo, his numbers are big time. You do not hear about Matthew Stafford. This dude had over 4,000 yards this year, 26 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. So he's not throwing many interceptions either. And, I get Vlad, the injury stuff. He actually hasn't been injured in a few years now. You know what I'm saying? This year he was actually on the injured list, but that was like to the COVID-19
Because
shit.
of COVID, right.
But ever since his first few years in this league, he's been a healthy player and balling out every single year yards-wise. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that the Lions have not won more than 13 games in the last 3 years.
Yep,
Which is like
correct.
It's freaking amazing, If we get Matthew Stafford, bro, like you'll be surprised how much shit changes here. You know what I'm saying? As far as like our players' performance.
You mean there's gonna be a quarterback that's able to throw?
Exactly, bro.
Exactly,
Exactly,
bro.
bro.
The throws.
The bar is set pretty low. The bar is set pretty low.
It's set pretty low now, right? Like, but
that's true.
Don't sleep on Matthew Stafford, man. Like, even Aaron Rodgers will tell you that dude is underrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've heard him on Pat McAfee's show. They're like, yo, a guy people never talk about is Matthew Stafford. As far as like the assets, listen, if it's just gonna take the 15th pick and that's it, do it. You have a proven quarterback.
That's a no-brainer.
You have a proven quarterback. If it's a first and like a fourth, bro, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have, like you said, he's in his prime. He's 33. He's still throwing the ball at a high clip. We have a good offensive line. We have the cap space to actually bring him on. You know what I'm saying? There's other teams that could go after him, like the Colts, who have a better cap space than us. But then, I'm losing my train of thought. But
the Colts don't have better cap space than we have. The second most cap space in the league behind the Jaguars.
Right. But they have enough cap space too. But what I was gonna say is their draft, because the Lions are looking for draft capital. We have number 15
more draft picks than us.
They do not have more draft picks than us. They draft like number 21. We draft 15, so we have that above them. But their cap space is good enough for them to actually sign him. You know what I'm saying?
To pick him up,
and it would be a good situation for him to go to because they're a dome team and they're up and coming, and they actually need a quarterback like really, really bad, which we do too. But
since
they actually
Phillip
have
Rivers
nobody
retired,
because Phillip Rivers retired. Brissett is a free agent, so they literally have nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? So they might make a really hard push, but I think the assets that the Patriots have would be better for the Lions if they're going to rebuild. 15th pick and then a third or fourth pick.
Fourth rounder, right.
Bill Belichick needs to do everything he can to get that quarterback in this building.
Yes.
It's either that or you have to pick a quarterback. You either have to move up and make sure you secure a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around that.
Right.
But
absolutely,
Matthew Stafford would definitely do us really, really well.
I'd love to see him here. Bring him here, please, Bill. Bring him here.
Right. Another NFL news. The NFL is allocating 7,000 Super Bowl tickets to healthcare workers. So that's pretty cool. So
it's awesome. Awesome.
These healthcare workers are actually ones that have taken the vaccine. So if you've taken the vaccine, you have a chance.
That's cool.
To go into the stadium and watch the game.
Watch the Super Bowl. Wow, that's awesome. Good for them.
Right. And lastly, about the NFL, Deshaun Watson, which we talked about before, he would like to go to he prefers to go to the New York Jets and Miami Dolphins. So things will get tricky. NFL free agency is not until March. And, as we get closer to that, we'll talk more about free agents and who's available and what the Patriots should be looking at. But, we got to be looking at these things now. You know what I'm saying? If you're the Patriots, you need to do what you got to do. Let's move into the NBA, man. So in some NBA/Celtics news, Peyton Pritchard, he suffered a grade 1 MCL sprain. That looked like it hurt him, man. You know what I mean? I was watching the game.
To watch.
That looked really.
That was horrible.
Yeah. Brooklyn Nets lost back-to-back games to the Cavs. So that was notable. That happened. Steph Curry passed Reggie Miller to become second three-point shooter of all time behind Ray Allen. And, before you know it, Ray Allen's record is going to come down too. because that guy, he's
Facts.
on a furious pace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The greatest 3-point shooter of all time. So, and he
No
hasn't even
doubt.
passed. Yeah, he doesn't even have the most, and we know that already. So, you know, and Kyrie, you know, we love talking about Kyrie on this show.
Sure do.
You know how much we're a fan of Kyrie. So he's back. If you haven't been paying attention, he's back. You know, and he had some explanations for why he skipped out on the team. And, you know, we're not going to tell you everything he said, but basically he said a lot of family and personal stuff going on. So I just wanted to leave it at that. I'm back. I'm happy to be back. We got some great pieces and we move on. And I let my actions, my game speak for itself like I planned on doing. I just needed a pause. So, you know, a lot of people are calling this a mental health break. We don't know what was going on with his family. But he's back. Nevertheless, you know, they lost a lot of players to bring in James Harden. So we saw James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving playing, but they haven't been playing the best. They did win against Miami, but Miami hasn't been playing the best either all year. You know, so it is what it is.
I just don't think they're playing defense.
Who, Miami?
The Nets.
Well, they're not playing defense, and Kyrie's taking close to 30 shots.
More shots than KD.
So, you know, a lot was talked about, you know, will these guys be able to sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? What I'm seeing is with the Nets is that Kyrie came back and he's like, yo, I'm not going to be the third option. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been like chucking up everything.
He's been gunning.
He had 38 points the first game, 37 points the second game, lost both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like the first game, James Harden didn't even shoot the ball really until like the second quarter. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I get it. You're James Harden. You know, Kyrie was on this team first. You know, you don't want to like, you know, rub him the wrong way. So we know Harden can cook, you know, at any time he wants. You know what I'm saying? He can be crazy efficient at times when he's actually really cooking, you know. But it just seems like Kyrie just came on and he's like, listen, I'm not playing third fiddle. I'm taking every shot I can. I play off ball now, so I don't need to, you know, try and get assist or anything like that. I'm just going to chalk, you know what I'm saying? Chalk up the shots.
So I thought Kyrie's been handling the ball, or it's James Harden that's been handling it more?
No, James Harden is the one that's bringing up the ball. I mean, he leads the league in assists. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you give Kyrie? Why would you want the ball? If you know what I'm saying? If this guy is the league leader in assists and he actually takes the defense with him and makes the correct pass majority of the time. You know what I'm saying? So it makes no sense to have Kyrie on the ball when you're just going to dribble. You know what I'm saying? He's never had that many assists to begin with in his career. So, you know, it just makes more sense to have Harden handle the ball and play Kyrie off ball like a shooting guard. But then it's become a problem.
Yeah, because then Kyrie wants to become Kobe. And like you said, and is gonna be gunning and freaking with the score first mentality. And you're right, that certainly hurt them without question. And Kevin Durant's not getting the shots that he should be getting. That's another thing. Is that why is Kevin Durant not getting the shots that he needs to be shooting? He should be getting the most shots on this team every single night.
The most efficient guy on the team should take the most shots, okay? Kevin Durant's never had that alpha mentality, though. We saw it in OKC.
That's true.
We saw it in, you know, Golden State, and now we're seeing it in the Nets. Like, he doesn't mind, like, falling back and letting a guy handle the rock. And he's so efficient, like, he doesn't even need to do – all he has to do is blink and score 30 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the guy shits a bucket.
Like he said, I'm Kevin Durant.
I'm Kevin Durant.
literally one of the best interviews I've watched.
Seriously, like, and he's not joking. Like, bro, you're literally talking to Kevin Durant.
Bro, I'm Kevin Durant. You know why I am. You know why I am.
You know, yeah. I remember that. That was awesome.
What's understood don't need to be explained. You know, I'm Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Exactly. I might have burner accounts. I'm still Kevin. You know what I mean?
Right, like give me the damn ball. Put the ball in my hands.
Hey, nevertheless, man, the Nets are number 5 in the East right now. You know, so then they're in the standings. You know, and you know they're gonna come. And actually, news came out that they're trying to trade for JaVale McGee and Kevin Love from the Cavs.
Is that right?
Well, we're trying to trade for JaVale McGee and Kevin Love.
Huh?
We're trying to trade for the Nets. With what
who are they gonna trade?
Exactly, they're gonna give up. They already traded.
You guys gave
team.
up. Exactly. So it's like, now you're gonna go.
Assets. Exactly.
Why did you let Jared Allen go? If you're gonna ask for JaVale McGee, I'd rather have Jared Allen over JaVale McGee any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Well, they're probably gonna send. They're probably gonna send the 2050 first round pick. 2060 first round pick.
Listen, you guys know.
That's a good one.
Kyrie, KD, and Kevin Durant played 50 minutes in the games that they lost.
You mean Kyrie, KD, and Harden?
And Harden.
Wow, all played 50 minutes.
The game that went overtime, they played 50 minutes. That hasn't happened to them. That's never happened to them. You know what I'm saying? So what that tells you is that you don't have a bench. Crazy. You don't have a bench. So your starters have to play majority of the game.
Yeah.
And now you want to trade. Like, you're going backwards. You traded these guys to the Cavs. Now you want people back from the Cavs? Like, I don't know. You already have JaVale McGee over there. No, not JaVale MGee. DeAndre Jordan. Yeah. Who else they got over there?
For big men?
Yeah, that's it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. They got Jeff Green.
Oh yeah, Jeff Green. He's that guy. But hey man, good luck to the Nets, man. Let's talk about the Celtics a little bit. You know, since the last time we spoke on the show, the Celtics had 3 games. They played the 76ers twice and they played the Cavs one time. You know, the first 2 games were against, you know, the 76ers. The 76ers beat them 117-109 the first game, and then 122-110 the second game. And then we saw the Celtics face the Cavaliers on
Sunday,
and they won 141-103. So the Nets lose to the Cavs 2 times, and then they come over to us and we beat them by like 30 points. So that was cool.
That's crazy.
Jaylen Brown scored 33 minutes in under 20. 33 points in under 20 minutes. You know, crazy. The fastest to do that in the shot clock era, which is absolutely crazy.
That's absurd.
You know, Jaylen Brown, in all those 3 games, he scored 26, 42, and 33. Like, the guy, he's an all-star, okay? He's an all-star. Please don't do him like y'all did Bradley Beal last year. The guy deserves it, man. You know, like, he should be one of the most improved players of the year, too. Like, if not the most improved player of the year. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm being biased. I don't know who. Actually, that kid Boucher from Toronto, he's actually doing some things, too. You guys don't know
as much as JB, though?
No. As far as, like, improvement, coming from the year he had last year to this year, like, he's made a drastic
He's made a big jump, too.
You know what I'm saying? But the way Jaylen Brown is playing, bro, it's crazy. But with the games that we lost, Brad Stevens actually came out and actually criticized the team a little bit, you know, and he was stern about it. And his quote, we're not going to win a game with the group that we have given up 122 points. Until we're really committed to defending, I just don't see us being sustainably competitive. And that may be like one of the harshest critics we've heard from Brad Stevens the whole time he's been here. And I think he definitely needs to grow some balls and start calling out his team a lot more, you know what I mean, publicly and privately. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you just have to in this league, you know, to get response out of guys sometimes, because we came back and we played, who did we play? Orlando, and we smashed them. And then it looked like for the next 4 games, we didn't know how to play basketball no more against the Knicks,
we lost,
76ers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It looked like for 3 games, it looked like we didn't know how to play basketball no more. So, I mean, I definitely agreed with everything Brad Stevens was saying. What were your thoughts on the games that you saw?
The first game against the 76ers, we were winning that game. We were winning that game late in the fourth quarter, and we let that, it was another session of the Celtics giving up a lead. That's what I saw. And the Sixers were impressive, actually. Joel Embiid's been really impressive. I think the coach,
he looks like he has better cardio.
Doc Rivers is motivating him, and he's been aggressive. He's been staying in the game. He's been engaged.
He's taking the challenge.
He's taking, and he's the one that actually won those games. Those games in the Celtics, he played really well. And
dropped 42 on us the first game.
He was a different.
38 he had on us. He had 38.
He had 42 points the other game too.
Oh, he did the second one, it must have been? Yeah, it probably was the second one because I know the first one he had 38. So, shoot, he was freaking dropping buckets on us.
Yeah, he's been very impressive, and we just couldn't stop him. But the Celtics just, they haven't been playing defense, and they haven't been able to sustain the leads that they have. And I didn't get to watch the Cavs game. I don't know what you guys saw in there, but I'm sure the Cavs came off multiple victories, emotional victories against the Nets, and they just couldn't do it against us. But the Celtics haven't been looking good. We definitely need Jason Tatum back, but Jason Tatum is not gonna solve all the defensive mishaps that we are having.
Yeah, no, without a question. I think this team, is. They're struggling right now to, like he said, to find their defensive identity. I think offensively they're doing okay. They're right in the hot hand of, Jaylen Brown, which is what exactly they should be doing, particularly without Jason Tatum still being out. And Kemba Walker also looks good and has been moving better and playing. He's playing better, well, as of late. Now that they've been giving him more minutes, and and he's kind of getting closer to being off the minutes restriction. But I'm not just what I'm seeing is that they're just, like you said, not playing with that energy and intensity in that effort on defensively, and they're not doing it consistently like they've shown in the past. Because when they showed that in the past, and they've had attention to detail and the effort and constant energy on defense, they've shown they can play with anybody and and beat any team in the league. But you're right, if the way they're playing defense, they're not going to beat anybody in this league, especially the Sixers, who are a very talented team, that, is certainly continuing to get better and improve, right? And Bede's, improved a lot this year. I think also Simmons is, playing well and getting better and improving as well. And he, I thought, played well in those games against the Celtics, and I thought the guys around them contributed and, and then took advantage of their opportunities when they had them. So I think, with the Celtics, right, Stevens just needs to get on them more. Like you said, John, I get that's not his coaching style, but at some point in time, like they got to light a fire under these guys and, let them know. And let them know that, hey, like, if you guys aren't going to play defense and aren't going to bring it on that end of the floor, then you're not going to be playing. Then you're
right. Play Tremont Waters.
And you're going to be watching the guys that do play hard,
right,
and that do play defense and that do compete consistently on that end of the floor. So
pull a Greg Popovich, you know what I'm saying? All the starters. Get your ass on the bench. I love when he does that shit.
Oh man.
I absolutely love when he does that. You guys, all right, you guys are fucking up. Everybody on the bench, okay?
Yeah, just sit your ass down. Right.
Come on, all right?
Brad Stevens been doing that sometimes, though.
Rarely.
rarely takes out the
I think maybe he's done that a couple of times.
He doesn't take out the whole starting lineup, but the guys that are not playing hard. Like I remember the first game that Peyton Pritchard came in. That's what happened. That's what happened. The guys weren't playing hard, and then I forgot what he pulled off. I think it was Jason Tatum that he pulled off, and then he put Peyton Pritchard in. He's done that. He might not do that as much as Popovich, but he definitely does that.
Yeah, I want to see it more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with that said,
me too. Exactly.
With that said, the Celtics are actually still in the third place seeding in the East right now. So it's 76ers. They're 12-5. The Bucks 10-6, and then Celtics 9-6. Pacers close behind with 9-7, and then it's the Nets at 5-10-8. So we're still, in this thing. We have Jason Tatum coming back, from the coronavirus NBA protocol situation. So we'll get, our number one scorer back in the
he's
league.
Coming back tonight. That's right.
But definitely what I saw was, the defense, man. We actually ranked 29th in the league right now in defensive rating, and that's not good. That's not like a Brad Stevens team, ever. It's one of those instances you can say you miss somebody like Gordon Hayward, who was out there helping out on the defense too, and speaking of him, he's dropping a lot. He's dropping he dropped 39 last night and
hit the game winner.
And hit the game winner too, which is what the fuck?
I know nobody by that name. I don't know who you guys are talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Listen, he's been playing so well this year. The Hornets are the 11th seed, so that's cool.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
That's like Gordon who? Like who that?
Yo, but he should, because he's been on them, ever since we started the podcast. So he has a right to talk all the shit he wants.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, no doubt. I'm not surprised he said it at all.
We were over here, trying to be nice for Gordon Hayward, and Vlad was like, "Fuck that guy."
He's dead to me, right? Vlad, Gordon Hayward's dead to you, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Oh, man. But just wanted to ask real quick, guys. I know we've been talking about how the Celtics have been struggling on defense. What do you think they need to do? Like, particularly Brad Stevens, what do you think he needs to do in order to help them, play better, defense and be more consistent on that end of the floor? Does he need to play Time Lord Williams more or Grant Williams more, or what do you want to see that would help them improve on that end?
They need to practice, to be honest with you, because they've been in, the NBA protocol. Guys are practicing one at a time, with individual coaches. They're not getting that, that one, that team defense. You know what I'm saying?
They're not playing a lot of 5-on-5.
They're not doing that. They're not coming together a lot. They're on Zoom. I think they just need practice. I don't think they need, because as we've seen in the past, like, this is a very defensively capable team. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Celtics are not a bad defensive team. I think it comes down to practice and execution. Tristan Thompson, who's one of our starters at center, he hasn't had much practicing with the team either, and you can see that on the court when he's out there, man. And right now he's making us think like, dude, we should have signed Miles Turner, because Miles Turner, he's like one of the best defensive players in the league this year,
right? And he's among the league leaders in blocks too.
You know what I'm saying? Already. Dude, this dude has more blocks than this girl's ugly girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a good one.
That was a good one, right?
I like that. Yes, sir.
I think when Jason Tatum comes back, I think it's gonna improve the defense because, believe it or not, he plays a big part of the defense, and I think his length is gonna make. But I think the whole team needs to come down and play better defense and just play team defense and
together, man.
Be more dedicated to the defensive side of the game.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Yeah. But like you said, though, man, it's about closing games out. And for some reason, we have not learned how to do that. You know, like we can never
That's still a
close games
problem.
out. You know, unless we're
But we
like
Still a
didn't have
problem.
JT on the floor, so I'm gonna
it's
give them the
even with
benefit of the
JT,
doubt.
bro. Even with JT, we don't know how to close the games out because like you'll see we're up, and then by the third quarter, the end of third quarter, we're like we were up 20, and now the game's like 4 points. You know, from being tied. So we definitely need to learn how to close the games out. And I'm glad Jason Tatum's back for sure because you know Jaylen Brown's been great. He's been doing everything he can to carry the team. You can Jaylen
He's
Brown
been
can
more
be.
than great,
He's
to be
listen.
He's been
honest.
phenomenal,
He's been a
absolutely
superstar, man.
phenomenal.
He's been a superstar, and
Oh
he
yeah,
did his thing.
absolutely,
But I'm glad to
absolutely.
see. I'll be glad to see Jason Tatum back. You know, to form that tandem with him and take us, you know, over the top, man.
Yeah.
But he might be a little rusty since he hasn't played in a while. So I'll probably give him like the first few games to shake off the rust before he gets
I
back
think
to
I
playing
think
like
just his
himself.
presence alone like makes a difference out there. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
absolutely.
I think just him, you know, just having the ball in his hand and acting like he's about to shoot will make an impact. You know, so
Right,
um,
right.
you know, we'll keep you guys up to date on the Celtics season. You know, as the games go along. I know that we're not breaking down every game. Maybe soon we'll start doing some, you know, reactions. You know, some short reactions on our YouTube channel. So be ready for that. And again,
Stay
man,
tuned.
subscribe, stay tuned. Let's move into the MLB. We don't have too much news. But we'll keep you up to date on what's happening with the MLB and the Celtic. I mean, the Red Sox. Red Sox signed Garrett Richards to a 1 year, $10 million contract. Uh, the Red Sox signed Kike Hernandez to a 2 year, $14 million deal. And you know what? We should have really said that at the beginning of the show because you know this is a guy that commands a lot of respect. He's a legend. You know, he's one of the biggest baseball legends of all time, man. And a lot of baseball players, you know, look up to him and want to break his records because he was so great, you know. And, you know, if you don't know, I'm talking about Hank Aaron, you know, just to say rest in peace to him. You know, I know that was one of like Barry Bonds' mentors. And, you know, isn't he like related to him? Something like that, right?
He might be. I'm not 100% sure, but you know that's possible. Though. But
Right.
they were very close, and he did work with him when Barry Bonds was playing, so they do have a good relationship.
Right. Hank Aaron passed away to apparently a massive stroke or something like that. And
Yep.
he died at the age of 86. So I know a lot of people actually, because Hank Aaron, he actually took the coronavirus vaccine a couple weeks before he passed. So a lot of
Oh,
people are
really?
speculating, coronavirus, the shot, blah blah blah. But I'm like, the man's 86, man. You know, you can't even like conclude that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right, right.
most of us don't make it to that
That
age.
age,
You
right?
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'd like to say rest in peace to him. I don't know if you guys have any words for him, but you know, I'll speak for the group on Pro Fan Sports. Rest in peace to him and condolences to his family.
Yeah, just wanted to give him a quick shout out. For being one of the all time greats. At one point, the home run king before Barry Bonds broke his record, and and actually still to this day the RBI leader, the on all time runs batted in. So he's had a great and outstanding career, and was a really good person, and definitely went through a lot in his playing career in terms of the racial tension and the social injustice, even worse than what it is right now. So and he was still able to play through that and still be the great player that he was, that he became. So definitely big shout out to Hank Aaron. I'm even surprised we didn't shout him out last week when we were talking about the 44s, because he's one of the best
So
players.
44.
Right. He's one of the best guys without question to wear that number that's played professional sports. So he definitely deserves time on our podcast to, salute him, for that, and definitely rest in peace. Hank Aaron, we appreciate everything you did, for sports and, and for the game of baseball.
Hank Aaron played for 23 years in baseball, man. It's amazing, man. So
Absolutely.
rest
He's
in
an amazing
peace.
guy, amazing player.
Rest
Absolutely.
in peace, man. Number
Yes, yes.
44. On to the NHL. The Bruins, they lost to the Islanders 1-0, and then they had another. They won the next two games against the Flyers 5-4 and 6-1. So from my understanding, because I'm not paying too much attention, but I know Barry, you actually watched one of those games where they won with my roommate. But I hardly pay attention to the Bruins unless it's like playoff time, because it's just like these seeding games for me, man. They're not it. They're not it. But I do keep it. Right. Barry, did you have any other comments on that?
Yeah, just a few. I thought, they played a couple games against the Flyers this week, in which they won both of those games. Then one of them, they came back from a 2-0 deficit in the third period, and were able to finally score some goals and get better. Offensively, they've been struggling, offensively in the early part of the season to, get, put goals in pucks in the back of the net and get their power play going. But they definitely did a much better job of that this week, against the Flyers in both games that they won. So I think one of them, they, won in the shootout like 5-4 or something like that. And then the other one, they, blew them out legit 6-1 and destroyed them and were, dominant in that game. So they've been playing well and playing better as of, late. Definitely the goaltending's been good, and the play around the goaltender's been getting better. So hopefully they continue that, moving forward in these upcoming games.
Thank you, Barry, for that breakdown.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't believe we have any soccer updates this week
No,
for you
not
guys.
this week.
So we'll go into one of our favorite segments on the show here. That B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week. Who you got?
So yes, thank you, John. I have a couple of people that I wanted to give the B Money Lifestyle award to this week. One of them would be Jennifer King, who became the first Black female to be a full-time coach in the NFL. She's going to be coaching for the Washington football team with Ron Rivera as their head coach. So I feel like that was pretty big accomplishment and for her, and they definitely wanted to commend her for that. And I'm glad to see that women continue to keep doing big things and making moves in the sports world, and and getting positions that they're qualified for. So I'm glad that we're starting to see that as a more common trend as of late. So definitely congratulations to Jennifer King for on her new position, and definitely wish her the best of luck with her position on the Washington football team. The other person I wanted to give a quick shout out to was Sarah Thomas, who's actually going to be the first female referee to officiate Super Bowl. With the Super Bowl coming up in a couple weeks, she's going to be one of the refs in there for the Super Bowl 55, the Chiefs against the Bucks. So
I posted about that, right?
Yeah, you did, John. I saw that on
ProFans _sports.
Make sure y'all go follow that.
Yeah,
IG.
follow that.
We got some good content on there for y'all. So I definitely saw that post on there, and definitely just wanted to commend her for that, and for being the first woman to be a ref in the Super Bowl. That's pretty big and pretty huge. That's the biggest game of the year without question. So for a female to be refereeing that is, definitely impressive and, and an outstanding achievement without question. So, definitely shout out to both of those ladies on, Jennifer King and Sarah Thomas on being the B Money Lifestyle People of the Week. And that's definitely that B Money Lifestyle. And then real quick, I just wanted to give a couple birthday shout outs to my good friends who had birthdays coming up this week. My good friend Ricky Mazzella, who's college roommate of mine. Yes, my guy Ricky, that's right. He's actually a Bills fan too. So
and he follows on the platforms, ProFans_sport.
He's a big fan of the show. So
mm-hmm.
That's my guy right there. So he definitely is active on our platforms without question. And then my other friend Chuck Lane, who also went to college with and is a good friend of mine as well. He has a birthday coming up too. So and he's been following and listening to the episodes as well. So they definitely are supporting, the podcast and what we do. And I just wanted to take the time real quick to, both shout them out and say happy birthday to, both of those guys. And yeah, that's definitely that B Money Lifestyle right there. So thanks again, John, for letting me have that opportunity. Appreciate it.
Yo, Barry, man, I got to commend you, for the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week segment and the way you've taken it, the direction you've been taking it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I appreciate
with
that.
the people you've been nominating. It's been some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? At first, we started off with this, as like a running joke. You know what I mean? B Money Lifestyle. But
right.
I think it's very important to recognize things like that are happening with several women that we've had on, the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week and, the thoughts on it, the thought process behind it. So, shout outs to you. You've been doing a really good job with that.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And thanks for letting me have that as a segment on the show. That's definitely my favorite segment and favorite part of the show. I like the whole show overall, but that's definitely
that's your baby.
That's your baby. Exactly. That's important to me. That's like my personal segment that I definitely take pride in and take seriously and am grateful for. So I'm glad that it's been going well, and I'm definitely going to continue to keep that going moving forward.
Listen, man, we need to get that segment sponsored somehow, and
I agree. Absolutely.
Get prizes to some people out there, man. But we'll work on that, you know what I'm saying, moving forward. As always, if you're still listening, if you're still participating, if you subscribed, if you shared this, we appreciate your support as always. Thank you for tuning in weekly. Thank you for following us and helping us, achieve our dreams and stuff like that. And, that's going to be it for episode 45 until episode 46. We out, man.
Peace. Have a good week, guys. See you next week.
Yep.
Take care, everybody.